I was a just very independent person, and on February 16th, we loaded my kids in the car, the dog. I was going to drive us to a park to take a walk, and my daughter was smart enough to realize that something was going on because I had just put the car in reverse, and she had asked me a question, and she said I was just sort of smiling at her, and I wanted to answer her, but no words would come out of my mouth, and she started calling 911. She thought I was having a stroke, and I was actually having a seizure, but I ended up backing into a school bus. Nobody was hurt. I was not hurt. The kids weren't hurt. I have no recollection of the seizure at all. So next thing I knew, I was waking up in an ambulance, and I was told I'd been in a car accident. And so I was taken to the emergency room, and they ran a CT. I don't even remember getting the CT scan. I just remember being in the room, and the doctor came in, and he sat on the stool, and he wheeled up close to the bed, and I thought, this is probably not good. And he said, "You have a brain tumor." On February 27th, I went in for surgery for them to remove the tumor, and Dr. Weaver, who was just amazing, I'm so fortunate that I had him as a surgeon, because he was able to remove, they think, 97 to 98% of the tumor, but unfortunately, with the little fingers that grow down into the brain, they can't, get it all. So I did radiation for 6 weeks, and then I was doing chemo. But the pathology report came back, and I do have it's grade 4 glioblastoma multiforme. So it's the most aggressive form of brain cancer that there is. I felt like something big was coming. I could have never thought something like this, but I just felt like something big was about to happen, and that it wasn't going to be very good. But even through the, going to the doctor's appointments, and, the surgeon was very clear on what he actually thought it was. So I thought, he sees these all the time. So I left that consultation appointment thinking, okay, he knows what it is. And but I've been very calm throughout all of it. I've just continued to have a really good attitude about it, because I'm just I'm not a very dramatic person. I have my moments, but I try to keep a very level head. And even like a few days after I'd had the seizure in the car, and I came back, and my daughter's 17, and she said to me, she said, "I don't want to leave you alone, going to school." She said, "I'm scared." And I told her, I said, we're not going to live our lives this way, because I said, you're a teenager, and your sister's a kid, and you need to focus on those things and what you need to do to live your life. And I said, you shouldn't be worrying about your mom. And I said, and I can't sit here on the sofa with 1,000 pillows around me, scared to get up, because I might or might not have a seizure. I go, there's no guarantee in life for anything, really. I'm like, we're not guaranteed a tomorrow. Like, none of us are. I follow the positive stories, because for the longest time I wouldn't even look up statistics, because I just thought that doesn't help me. So it wasn't until about 3 months later that I even realized that I had the most aggressive form of brain cancer. And I called my husband, who works out of town, and I was crying and told him, and he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you knew." And I was like, "No, I didn't know," but I think it was good that I didn't know early on, because now I'm able to take it, just kind of in small doses, and or read what I want to read and not follow the negative. I'm listening to the radio thinking I know these song lyrics and I can talk and I can get up and walk and I can do all these things. And when they were releasing me, the nurse told me, she said, you need to get up and get dressed every day. You need to live your life, go see a movie, spend time with friends and family. So I didn't leave there thinking like, oh, this is the worst thing that could possibly happen to me, because for me, I just kept thinking, if I get through this brain surgery and I can see my kids one more time and hear their voices, that's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. So I feel like every day after that has been just a bonus day for me. I don't have a lot of fear. I did have one day where I broke down over the summer. I was at the house by myself and I had wanted to clean my closet out for months before my diagnosis. And I was in the closet, I was cleaning it out, and all of a sudden it just hit me that I thought, how soon will it be before my husband and kids are cleaning out the closet because I'm not here anymore? And I was in the closet shaking and crying. And then I thought, I allowed myself to cry for a little bit. And then I thought, I cannot go down this road because worrying and fear doesn't get me anywhere. You know, some of this is the worst that, you know, could happen to a person, but I was like, I still have a really wonderful life. And so I'm not going to let fear and anxiety drag me down. I do not do well being treated like an invalid. I don't like saying things like, when I'm feeling better, let's go for a walk. And then somebody saying like, oh, well, maybe I'll just take you to the park and we'll sit on the bench, or, you know, just questioning me or going down a checklist. You know, I don't like, and in my home life, with my kids, I don't like to make everything about me and my illness, because I don't think as a family I don't think that's productive for any of us. And, you know, we do make a lot of jokes. I used to be a comedian. I performed stand-up back in the 90s. And, you know, I think having a sense of humor has helped a lot. And, you know, we joke about it all the time. My daughter said to me when she was getting ready to fill out her college applications, and she said, oh, wow, Mom, thanks. You really helped me with my obstacles I've had to overcome college essay. And I was like, well, I'm glad me and my brain tumor could help you out. I was like, I have such a close relationship with my kids who are 17 and 12. And I'm the type of mom that like, there's no one I would rather spend time with than my kids. They just mean the world to me. And yes, that type of thing really does bother me at times when I think, oh my gosh, I'm like, you know, will I be there? You know, even thinking about my daughter's graduation, you know, will I be there for her high school graduation? And we went to take her senior photos that will be in the yearbook, and it hit me too that I thought, wow, will I be there to go through this with my younger daughter, you know, to go to the studio and take her senior pictures. All I can think about really is that I've always tried to show them how much I love them, and, you know, whether I'm here today or, you know, gone tomorrow, you know, like I said, there's no guarantee, but I do feel like that love will go on. And, you know, it's just another thing that I just can't sit and worry about. And it does make me fight harder. I'm the type of person that I was very independent, you know, from that second that I was going to back out of the driveway until, you know, the second later, I can't drive anymore. I've had to rely on other people, be very dependent on others, and our community has just, this is when I get teary because I'm like, so many people have helped our family in so many different ways, even just things like offering to drive my kid to school, or a field trip, or people bringing us meals, and just the hundreds of cards that I received. Like, I've become friends with some people that I've known for years, but wasn't close to, and they've become some of my dearest friends. And I think it just brings you closer to your family, and you also learn to let some things go that just aren't important or weigh you down. And so there are so many silver linings. You know, every 2 weeks I go to the Ingram Cancer Center for my infusion treatments, and there are so many times where most of the time I feel pretty good. I get up and I exercise every day. I do yoga. I do all of these things for my mind and my body. And you go to this cancer center in just one city at one hospital, and it is just full of people with cancer coming in and out, in and out. And, you know, you'll see, I saw a young man there just the other day, and he had half of a face. He couldn't have been maybe 22, 23. I don't know what kind of cancer he had. And I saw another woman about my age in a wheelchair, and she just looked so miserable. And I thought, you know, that could be any one of us. And I'm like, don't live your life with grudges or just holding animosity towards people, because you just can't subject your life to living that way when you could be doing something much better and possibly helping other people.